my first article, the more niche it is. I wasn't good at writing at the time. What's that, 400 euros? Good morning and welcome back. I'm going to talk about how you start the journey. My first published article, I was working a normal job. I was actually working in the North Sea, so I had a lot of time off. I'd structured my day and life around having a job, which I have also some free time. That's probably a good idea. But to have time to develop your skill and actually go stuff and do what you like and do what you want. So that's part of freeing up. Like, yeah, you have to have your day job, but if you have a day job with long hours that takes up most of your time, not only time, but create your mental energy. Like, I've heard about some writers who chose really dumb, stupid jobs. I've heard about Einstein. You have to fact check me or write in the comments of, oh, that's not true, you're a liar, you're telling stories, it's not, I don't know, check ChatGPT or something. But I've heard that Einstein deliberately worked in a post office because it was so mind-numbing. It didn't crave any of his mental capacity, so he could focus on bigger things when he got home, on mathematical problems. And creative writing can be difficult. Going out there, putting yourself in front of people, finding the story. So maybe not Einstein level, but definitely it can be draining mentally, getting the words right. You know what Ernest Hemingway said at the end of his Farewell to Arms? He rewrote it like 30 times or something. And when he was asked how come, what was so difficult, he said, getting the words right. So yeah, it can be taxing to get the words right, and that can take a lot of our energy. And but also talking to people, you have to be out there. Writing novels in isolation is one thing, but when you're freelancing, you have to engage with people. And not everyone is an extrovert. Some people feel that it can be a hard hurdle to overcome. So having a day job that allows for your creativity is you can find space, your own time to do what you like and you love. And that takes me into the next point here, is finding the story that you love and you like. And now I'm gonna because this is my stack of published stuff. Let's see here, my first thing, which is a bit special because I bought 2 copies. I think my mum bought 4 or 5 or 6 copies. She was so proud. I was quite young, but I kept one in plastic to be preserved forever because it's a big moment. And it's not a cover shot, of course. I didn't get those until a bit later, but here it is. What is this? It's mountain biking. Because I was genuinely interested and passionate about mountain biking. The thing was that in my area, I've always been a doer. Like if the ecosystem or whatever doesn't exist in my area, I go out and make it myself. I go out and make it happen, so to speak. So me and my brother, we were getting into mountain biking. We were seeing the videos of all these Canadians building crazy lines and tracks through the trees. We thought, well, we've got a forest at home. We can do that. So we went and talked to the farmer that owned the land, and then we built our own track. And we spent hours and hours and days and nights building this thing, and we thought in the end, this is quite good. This is actually genuinely on a national level in Norway, a good track. And I also liked photography. I worked at a photography shop. And then I was like, you know what? I bet there's a magazine that's interested in this story, because it is a good story. There's a track where no one has seen a track in this country, but also the young guns building their own stuff, like not accepting the status quo. You don't have to move. You can make your own. You know, there's a lot of sun coming in here. You can make your own reality. So we built this track here while I was working day job at a photography shop, but also studying, I think, at the same time. And then here it is, my first article. And I wasn't good at writing at the time. It's like the first thing I've ever written. I think actually I co-wrote it with someone else who had a bit more experience in writing. So I was like, why can't I write? We didn't have ChatGPT either then. I can brainstorm how to an intro or stuff. I just sat down and started writing about something I was interested in. And we had some good photos to go with it. This isn't my photo, this is a friend's photo. So collaboration can be a good thing. So there's always someone. And that's a way, if you're a writer, not that good at photography or not that interested, haven't invested in the gear, collaborate with someone that is good at that. Or if you're a photographer, not that good at writing, collaborate. If you're a couple, you're good at shooting photos, and your wife likes to write, or maybe she just likes to travel, and you can finance your holidays doing this. It's crazy. So anyway, like, anyone can write today. No, I wouldn't say that, but I would say that ChatGPT can be really good for structuring an outline of the story, and you have to fill in the blanks with your creative, unique words. And I would say for this stuff, travel journalism, half the idea is finding the story and then capturing it with your unique angle. So I would say if you're good at photography, it's not easier to write great writing. That's difficult, that's hard. But writing good enough for a magazine to accept your story, using a brainstorming ChatGPT and that's learning over time, I think anyone can do that. I managed to do it when I was 18 and I wasn't in A+ grade. Anyways, here it is. 1 page, 2 page. There's another page. And another page. Which is 4 pages. And it paid me, what's that, 4,000 kroner? 1,000 kroner a page. Which at that time was like, what? No, that's sick. You know, if we're thinking about the money it brought in for building the track, it's not a lot, of course, but just for taking the photos and writing the story, I don't know, a day's work or something, 4,000, what's that, 400 euros? I'm not really good at conversions, but I always just do 10. Like 4,000 kroner is $400 and 400 euros and 400 pounds. Sterling silver. Let's just go with 400. That's the estimate, okay? Plus, minus. So this is me, 18, 19 years old. I got, and it was really like, wow, I can earn money on this. And why this story? Because it was unique to me, because it was something that I was passionate about. So that's how I would say get your first story published while working a day job. Just it's the cliche, just start. Well, I don't know, just do it. Just pick up the camera, start writing. No, first just find a story, something that you like. You like cooking? Do you like baking? There's a bunch of how to bake the perfect cake. But there's this one lady in your community that has made a living out of starting a small bakery you know, in some specific niche, the more niche it is, the easier it is for a breakthrough through in an editor's mail inbox, because it's unique. They haven't seen it before. That's what you should go for. Not somebody, you know, everyone likes a Rocky Balboa story. He came up from nothing and then they started a bakery in the town where no one had ever seen a bakery before. And then the customers were rolling in and now they've got a web shop and they're selling to all the country, and now it's called Walmart Bakery International. Doesn't have to go that far, but a small niche bakery or with some sort of unique, distinct style. I can already think of one, which is a girlfriend of my wife's sister. She lives 3 hours from here. If I was really interested in baking, I bet I can make a story about her, because she started out with cupcakes. And now I think she's got 2 cupcakes restaurants in this part of Norway. And this is like 9 hours from the capital. Nobody's focusing on it. But if I'm confident that I could take photography that was good enough and also write the story and capture her style, I bet I could sell that not only to a baking magazine. This is also a clue. Finding different magazine and media outlets. You could do the baking route. You could do the home route for mothers, stay-at-home mothers. There's probably a media outlet for that. There's travel, which like in-flight magazines. If there is a flight going to that city, to that destination, it's a pitchable. So it's finding the media outlets that could fit for that specific niche, but also broadening a bit, thinking how could we get it out there, and if not, find some blog that would like to blog it out, but collaborate it on some level. Media outlet online isn't really paid that well, but it's just to get the ball rolling for yourself. Proving to yourself that you can do this, like this is possible also for me. I've got the skills, I'm good enough, and if you're not good enough, it's just to get this ball rolling. 10 tries down the line, you will be good enough, because most people give up before they've even got their first dip in the water. Like this is my first published article. You know what was my first published photo at all? This is probably going to be hard to find. Could it be in here? You know, it was one of those small, you know, where you write an opinion or a letter or whatnot. Yeah, here it is. This is funny. This is me in the hospital, reading this magazine. So I'm reading this magazine. I was in the hospital, and what I wrote about was that I was so close to being one of those dudes, but then early in the season I managed to smash my elbow, and now I'm lying here stuck. I'm not going to be snowboarding all season. So I got someone to snap a photo of me. So it's not even my photo, actually. But it's my first piece of writing published in a magazine. It's not paid for. You get a jumper. They send you a jumper in the post. But that gave me like, oh shit, my writing's good enough for someone to actually publish it. 2 years later, 1 year later or 2 years later, I'm actually published in not their magazine, but their daughter magazine. It's the same magazine group. But these do like snowboarding and free riding and skiing and stuff, surfing, a bit of everything. And these are niched on mountain biking. But it's the same editors, the same guys. So you have to just get something out there. It's not going to be paid in the start. But then in the end, you will find something that's unique enough, and your storytelling and your photos will be good. And to get your first magazine, and you can preserve it forever and show to your grandkids, and this is becoming very like a motivational speech now. That wasn't intended, but I believe going the steps and freeing up some time to actually do it can help whoever reach their dream of becoming a travel journal, because you don't need an education, you don't need anything. Maybe in bigger media outlets like traditional magazines, they have, you know, some what's it called? This, see, I don't even know what it's called. Journalist ethos. Like you have to be objective and that. But in these types of magazines, they only want good photos and a good story. There's no like, oh, for example, in a real newspaper, so to speak, you couldn't get free stuff from the lady who's running the cupcake shop. You had to say, no, I can't, you're paying me, blah, blah, blah. There's no ethical right. These guys, they don't give a shit. They don't care at all. All they're interested in is a good story. So I've actually got a sailboat. Wait, I'll just try and see. Should have prepared this. In this magazine, sailing magazine, I got a sailboat, a discount. I contacted all the sailing companies in Turkey and said, hey, we're planning on going on a sailing trip. Maybe, can we get a discount? They said, oh, okay, 10%. I said, no, can we have 15? And they said, okay. What do we do? I went with my family to sail in Turkey and Greece, sailing for 2 or 3 weeks, and I got stuff for free. See here, here's us sleeping, eating at restaurants that you can only sail into. Loads of places I've got restaurant food and stuff for free because I said I am a magazine, blah blah blah. And you can get so much stuff for free for featuring them in the magazines. And these magazines, they don't care, as long as you've got a good story and a good understanding of how to take some photos and writing, then you're golden. And you can get stuff for free. And I've travelled, I think, all the continents doing this and getting paid for it. So yeah. Now I'm living more of a family life, so if I can't do it, I hope someone else can do it. I hope you can do it. Yeah. Thanks for listening. You're great.